Cyber Threat Brief for June 3, 2026. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, adds Oracle WebLogic CVE 2024-21182 to KEV, Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog after active exploitation with federal patch deadline tomorrow. Google patches exploited Android zero-day CVE 2025-48595 used in targeted attacks. Microsoft backpedals on legal threats against zero-day researcher after security community backlash. Here's the full breakdown of today's top security stories. Daily IT Security Brief. June 3, 2026. Next section, Critical Alerts. Oracle WebLogic CVE 2024-21182, actively exploited, CVE 2024-21182. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, added a 2-year-old Oracle WebLogic server vulnerability to its KEV, Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog on June 2, after confirming active exploitation. CVE 2024-21182, CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, 7.5, EPSS, the Exploit Prediction Scoring System, 89. 6th percentile, allows unauthenticated remote attackers to compromise WebLogic server versions 12.2.1.4.0 and 14.1.1.0.0 via T3 or EIP protocols, resulting in unauthorized access to all WebLogic accessible data. Over 1,500 vulnerable servers remain exposed online. Oracle patched this in July 2024. Action: federal agencies must patch by midnight June 4 per BOD 2021. Private sector should patch immediately. Oracle has seen 43 vulnerabilities exploited in the wild, 12 linked to ransomware. Sources: Bleeping Computer, The Hacker News. Google patches exploited Android zero-day, CVE 2025-48595. Google's June 2026 Android update addresses 124 vulnerabilities, including actively exploited zero-day CVE 2025-48595. CVSS 8.4. The high-severity framework component flaw allows local privilege escalation via integer overflow with no user interaction required. Google confirmed limited, targeted exploitation. The flaw affects Android 14, 15, 16, and 16 QPR2. CIS added CVE 2025-48595 to KEV on June 2 with a June 5 remediation deadline. Commercial spyware vendors typically exploit similar Android zero-days for targeted surveillance. Action: update to 2026-065 security patch level immediately. Pixel devices receive updates first, other vendors will follow. This is the 5th Android zero-day exploited in the wild this year. Sources: Bleeping Computer Security Week, The Hacker News, CISA. Linux kernel privilege escalation added to KEV, CVE 2022-0492. CIS added CVE 2022-0492, a Linux kernel improper authentication vulnerability, to the KEV catalog on June 2 based on active exploitation evidence. Federal agencies must remediate by June 5. Action: patch Linux kernel to latest version. Check for available updates specific to your distribution. Source: CISA. Next section, ransomware claims, last 48H. 2 claims tracked across one group in the last 48 hours. These are unverified claims from ransomware leak sites. Group victim sector country, Black X Elektroverband Bayern Trade Association, Electrical. Germany, Black X African National Congress Political South Africa. Next section, Windows/Active Directory Security. Unpatched NTLM coercion in Windows Search URI Handler, no CVE, or common vulnerabilities and exposures. Huntress disclosed an unpatched NTLM credential leakage vulnerability in Windows Search URI Handler that leaks netNTLM v2 hashes via single link click. The bug uses the same mechanism as patched CVE 2026-33829 snipping tool, but in a different URI handler. Microsoft closed the report as below servicing bar with no CVE or fix planned. The vulnerability works via search, query equals test and crum equals location, / attacker IP / share and fires on first invocation per logon, including from HTML links in browsers. Defender does not alert. Action: monitor for unusual SMB, small and medium business, authentication attempts to external IPs. Consider blocking outbound SMB at firewall. This is a defense-in-depth issue since NTLM relay attacks require specific environmental conditions, but the leak itself is trivial to trigger. Source: Huntress. Next section, General Security News. Microsoft backtracks on zero-day researcher legal threats. Microsoft clarified its approach to security researchers on June 1 after backlash over perceived threats of criminal prosecution against researcher Nightmare Eclipse, who publicly disclosed 6 unpatched Windows 0 days including Blue Hammer, CVE 2026-33825, Red Sun, and Undefend. 3 have been exploited in the wild. Microsoft's May 27 blog post stated its digital crimes unit would continue bringing cases against these actors and those that enable their criminal activity, coordinating as needed with law enforcement around the world, which the security community interpreted as a threat of legal action for disclosing 0 days. Microsoft's June 1 clarification stated, "We have no intention to pursue action against individuals conducting or publishing their security research. When an individual breaks the law and engages in malicious activity causing real harm to our customers, we will work with law enforcement as appropriate." The controversy stems from a disclosure dispute between Nightmare Eclipse and MSRC. Microsoft disabled the researchers' GitHub and vulnerability portal accounts and 2 additional CVEs. See show notes for the full list. Sources: Security Week. Dark reading the register. VS Code 0 Day allows GitHub token theft via link. Click. Security researcher Amar Asghar disclosed a VS Code 0 Day that allows attackers to steal GitHub OAuth tokens by tricking users into clicking malicious links. The vulnerability exploits VS Code's sandboxed WebView message passing system to install malicious extensions that extract GitHub OAuth tokens sent to GitHub. Dev. The proof of concept runs malicious JavaScript to simulate keypresses and install an extension that enumerates all private repositories the victim can access. Asghar disclosed publicly 1 hour after notifying GitHub due to prior negative experience with MSRC, which previously fixed a VS Code bug he reported without credit or acknowledgement. No patch available. Action: clear cookies and local site data for GitHub. Dev in browser, settings icon in URL bar, right arrow cookies and site data, right arrow manage on-device site data. This forces VS Code to display the extension GitHub repositories wants to sign in using GitHub warning when clicking suspicious links. Source: Bleeping Computer. AI-built ransomware toolkit automates EDR evasion. Sophos discovered a threat actor using AI agents, Cursor and Claudeopus to build a ransomware attack toolkit that automates Active Directory discovery and EDR evasion. The toolkit was detected in a customer environment with payloads in C, /users, /user, /documents, /test. The framework includes Cobalt Strike profiles mimicking legitimate traffic, Telegram bot command and control, Python shellcode injectors, and Cloudflare worker redirectors. Multiple AI agents coordinate R&D, Claudeopus 4.5 orchestrates, while specialized agents handle testing, OPSEC hardening, VM deployment, and payload generation. Close to 80 modules in Rust and Go were generated and tested against over 70 evasion techniques targeting Sophos, CrowdStrike, and Windows Defender. Cobalt Strike logs revealed ransom notes and references to multiple organizations on ransomware leak sites, confirming criminal use despite red team appearance. Action: this represents the industrialization of malware development. Traditional signature-based detection will struggle. Focus on behavioral detection, credential protection, and segmentation. The workflow is human-driven despite AI assistance. Source: Bleeping Computer. Drive Surge campaign hijacks thousands of sites for malware delivery. Silent push disclosed Drive Surge, a large-scale initial access broker operation using compromised legitimate websites to deliver click fix and fake update malware via a traffic distribution system, ZTDS. The campaign compromised thousands of high-reputation websites since at least September 2025 and remained undetected until February 2026. Attackers inject malicious code that redirects visitors through ZTDS, which profiles the victim and serves fake update browser prompts or click fix attacks. The infrastructure includes payload repositories, PowerShell downloaders, staging servers, and failover domains with base 64 encoded JavaScript obfuscation. Drive Surge targets both Windows and Mac OS. The operation functions as a pay-per-install service, selling initial access to downstream threat actors. Action: block known ZTDS domains. Monitor for unexpected JavaScript loading from external domains on web properties. Educate users that legitimate browser updates never arrive via website prompts. Source: Dark reading. Exchange Online outage causes email delays and failures. Microsoft addressed a widespread Exchange Online outage, X 1,331,830, on June 2, affecting mail flow across North America, APAC, and Europe. Users experienced significant send and receive delays, over 1 hour, SMTP deferral errors, Maximum number of concurrent connections per resource forest has exceeded a limit, and connection closures. Microsoft classified this as an incident due to critical impact. The company resolved similar Exchange Online issues in April and May affecting mailbox access and calendar functionality. Action: monitor Microsoft 365 Service Health Dashboard for updates if experiencing email issues. Document impact for SLA reviews. Source: Bleeping Computer. Next section: Ransomware and Extortion. Gamerdan exploits WinRAR to deliver malware against Ukraine-Russian state-sponsored group Gamerdan, FSB linked. Continues exploiting WinRAR vulnerability CVE 2025-8088 to deliver GammaFish, GammaLoad, GammaWorm, and GammaSteel malware families targeting Ukraine. The January 2026 campaign uses booby-trapped RAR archives delivered via spearphishing. GammaWorm establishes persistence via scheduled tasks, hides legitimate directories on network shares and USB drives, and replaces them with malicious LNK files. C2 resolution uses hard-coded public Telegram channels to blend with legitimate traffic. GammaSteel is a modular information stealer that exfiltrates files matching specific extensions to AWS S3 buckets or attacker servers. NTFS alternate data streams conceal core modules. The infection chain reveals a resilient, modular design that will be reused in future campaigns. Action: update WinRAR to latest version. Block Telegram channel access from enterprise endpoints if not business critical. Monitor for scheduled task creation and NTFS ADS usage. Source: The Hacker News. Next section: Patch Priority. Oracle WebLogic CVE 2024-21182, CVSS 7.5, actively exploited, patch deadline tomorrow for federal agencies. Android June 2026 update including exploited CVE 2025-48595, CVSS 8.4, update immediately. Linux kernel CVE 2022-0492, actively exploited. Check for distribution-specific updates. WordPress Keyaki plugin CVE 2026-8206, CVSS 9.8+, actively exploited, update to 6.0.7 or disable. WinRAR CVE 2025-8088, actively exploited by Gamerdan, update to latest. Next section: Vulnerability Disclosures. WordPress Keyaki plugin privilege escalation exploited, CVE 2026-8206. Hackers are exploiting critical privilege escalation flaw CVE 2026-8206 in WordPress plugin Keyaki, freeform page builder. WordFence blocked over 222 attacks in 24 hours. The vulnerability affects versions 6.0.0 through 6.0.6, 40% of plugins 500,000 plus installations. The flaw exposes a REST API endpoint for password resets via handle forgot password function that accepts arbitrary email addresses. When a username is provided, the plugin generates a valid password reset link, but sends it to the attacker-supplied email rather than the account owner's registered email. Unauthenticated attackers can trivially hijack any user account, including administrators. Patched in version 6.0.7 released May 18. Action: update to Keyaki 6.0.7 immediately or disable the plugin. Check WordPress admin audit logs for unauthorized password resets or new admin accounts created since early May. Source: Bleeping Computer. Microsoft Office vulnerability, CVE 2026-21509. Used by APT28, Exatrack reports APT28 continues exploiting Microsoft Office vulnerability CVE 2026-21509. CISAKEV, due February 16, to deliver Covenant Grunt implant via PixieNet Loader malware. Loader has been active since December 2024 with recent samples from April 15, 2026. CVE 2026-21509 has EPSS 13, 9th percentile, and CIS a KEV status. Action: ensure Office is patched to latest version. Review February 2026 Office updates. Source: The Hacker News. Next section: Trends and Context. 3 major themes dominate today. Vendor disclosure conflicts are escalating with Microsoft facing community backlash over legal threats against researchers. Critical infrastructure vulnerabilities remain unpatched years after disclosure. Oracle WebLogic, Linux kernel, and AI-assisted malware development is now operational at scale for ransomware operations. The gap between vulnerability disclosure and exploitation continues to shrink, with multiple 2024 and 2025 CVEs under active attack today. That concludes today's Cyber Threat Brief. From Carolina, Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.